Hey Ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to a guide today on getting max upgrades for your Paraglider super early, as well as possibly an upgrade for your UV light. All the locations of all the military tech and how to complete them in the starting Villadore areas, all free, as well as the 3 that are involved in downtown, and some tips about Garrison. In fact, I'm going to show you one that you can get at Garrison and one that's actually off the map, and that will help you get all the upgrades for the Paraglider, and like I said, one upgrade to put towards your UV light or possibly even your grapple if you've got that far in the story. Now you get a piece of tech with Hakan in the early stages, basically teach you as part of the tutorial, and then you've got to go to the first outpost, and again this is part of the story, taking on these bandits in the early stages. You shouldn't need too much of a high level in stamina to get on top of this. The building is relatively easy up until this point. You'll notice then we've got a few air vents that look like you can jump on top of it. If you manage to get the extra long jump by now, then yeah, you will be able to do this pretty easy. If not, here's how. So left hand side, just go along the boardwalk and then jump on top of the red little glass stained ledges here, jump up, and you can see we're right underneath this drop. So we're going to go inside the building now and go out on the other side, and then we'll be back on the red glass ledges. From here we're going to turn the corner, and then we'll have a little bit of a monkey bars to go over in a second as well. So this might be the only 2 that you can get until you've got your stamina up quite a bit. You're going to need to go to the loop area and downtown, get some more experience, and then come back for the 3rd one that's in the starting zone of Villadore, and simply jump across these 2 vents and you should be able to clamber up on top of the roof. Once you're up here, obviously, you can then go ahead and get the military crate, and you can see there's also an inhibitor here as well. And I will repeat, you will not need to be a high stamina level for this, only level 100. And yeah, you can do this at the story point where you clear out this camp and turn it over into a safe zone. So with the one that Hakan pretty much shows you in the tutorial and that one that you've got, you'll now have 2, and you can go ahead and upgrade your Paraglider once you unlock it when you go to the loop. I highly recommend you do. Don't save them up to upgrade your UV light or the grapple, as you won't get them until much later in the game. So this is a bit later on. I've gone and done a few quests in the loop, and you can see this one is going to be a level 300, so you do need to be a pretty high level with your stamina to do this one. It's on top of the medical centre hospital, and so you're going to have to go round the back to where you can see some water, and should come across to this point on one side of the building. You can clamber up here, and then you're going to turn around and aim for the ledge just behind you once you clamber up the metal railing. There's a lot of pipe work here trying to climb up here, so you definitely need that stamina. Not too sure if you could use the stamina boost to maybe cheat and get up here. I don't think so. I think the stamina boosts only work in certain points. But clamber up and try and aim to the right hand side, and you'll get on this ledge. You might even be able to make it up straight away to that next point, but it's not that worried or essential because we still need to do a bit more climbing. So jump on top of this ledge. Again, you should be able to do easily now with your 300 stamina, and I've sped it up obviously, and you can see now there's more pipe. So it doesn't matter which way you go, you will eventually get up there. But I went to the left hand side and then jumped across. Now I had a bit of an issue with this. I ended up nearly falling because it was a bit glitchy for me, but you should be okay if you're doing it. And then you should be able to get over to the ledge nice and simple. This building is too tall also to get on top of using the Paraglider from anywhere as well. You do get another inhibitor and obviously some more rare loot, and of course the next military tech. So that's obviously about 10 upgrades in stamina to get 300. One thing to note as well, part of the GRE antenna quest that you get make you come up here a bit later on, but you may still again need obviously a bigger stamina pool to go and finish them. That's what the radars are, so you probably will visit this place later on if you just want to leave it till then. Next up we've got downtown. There's 3 of them in this place. So it's on top of the actual metro station where you first activate it and come into this zone. You can get here actually if you've got a good amount of stamina by going from the rooftop where you have to resolve the artist. That's a mission that you'll come across as part of the main story. But if you use a lot of the air vents that are along the way, and obviously make sure you've got the markers set up for it, you can pretty much get all the way over to the central loop rooftop. Otherwise you should be able to clamber up any of the nearby roofs, and I'm sure there's pathways also to get up here too. And obviously I have got my first upgrade, which allows me to get a little bit of extra air time up so it doesn't go down immediately. You'll get another inhibitor as well, so it's definitely worth doing just for that as well. The next one's to the northwest of downtown. I'm on a little safe zone just nearby. You can see it's right here. Now there is a building that we're going to aim for, as it's going to be a winch that takes us up to a higher building, and we should be able to get on top of it no problem from there. You can see it's this tall one. You need to be on the northern side of the building, and you should find this winch that will take you pretty much all the way to the top. We need to catch the current with this one using your paraglider. This was literally only something I just realised you can do. Use the currents around and take note of what way they're facing, because if you go against them you won't be able to use the uplift as much. So just go ahead, take a leap of faith and make sure you pull out your glider early, and it will take you all the way up. Can be a bit troublesome, you might hit the building if you're not careful or go right past it, but that is the next one. And then there's just one more for downtown and we're done in the start zones and downtown. This one's all the way to the east of downtown zone, just on the border. Now again, from exactly where we just were to get that one, you might even be able to make it all the way across using the vents. I know it's a bit cheaty, but that's exactly what it's designed for. So if you take attention, make sure you try and hit as many of these as possible. You've got a good chance of actually reaching it mostly. Although it does look like this is another bandit camp, so you might want to clear out this bandit camp anyway and then make your way up to the top. But if you're looking just to get your upgrades first, then this is a quicker and easy way to do it. I managed to just get onto this part of the roof and then simply clamber up. Inside this safe, the code is 303, you'll get another inhibitor, and then jump on top of these weird light fittings or whatever they are onto this little archway here. It'll lead to a bigger room where you find the actual code for the safe, and then you go out onto the balcony and you can see we've got some more red glass ledges and some more yellow pipes. So jump on top of this red ledge and then hop onto the next level above you. And then it's clambering up all of the yellow pipes to get across to the next set. It's a bit easier than I think the last one. There's no like real muck-ups. You should be able to get right to the top ledge and then clamber all the way up. So as long as you've got the gold, you should now be able to go ahead and upgrade your paraglider to max. And I definitely recommend that, even if you have unlocked the UV light, it's the paraglider that you really want. As far as I know, there are no military crates in the Wolf or the New Dawn Park area, and some of the other areas, they may be a bit too dangerous to go and explore if you're not high enough level. And just to give you some tips about Garrison, I haven't completed them all yet because you need to complete the full story to get 2 of these. Basically, they're on such big skyscrapers that you won't be able to reach. Even with a fully upgraded paraglider, it would simply be too hard. But there is a couple in this zone you can get that will at least get you 1 upgrade for your UV light. So I think I'm worth showing you them right now. So to help with this one, you may need to clear out an outpost first. It's right in the Garrison downtown, and obviously it might be a bit difficult. It's about 2 or 3 layers, and there's lots of hallways and levels where lots of enemies will come through, but eventually you've got to take out this gang leader on the top. He's pretty easy, he only needs like 1 hit, because obviously I think he's a bit more of a ranged character. There you go, done and dusted. Then you simply convert it over to the Garrison Heights. So you may need to unlock it unless you've already completed the story, then this becomes a lot easier. Otherwise, if you do want to get it a bit early, maybe you want to upgrade your UV light, then getting this outpost will mean you're in the centre of a lot of updraft. I will show you exactly on the map in a second where it is, but you can see on the building across from us, that's where the military crate is. So I was debating for ages about how to get there. Maybe I'd need to get the updraft from around the building and circle it round. But nope, it's much simpler. Just get on top of the tower that is right on top of the Peacekeeper unit here and simply just jump off. Now you should be able to make it. Now I had a bit of a kerfuffle here. I ended up thinking no, I wasn't going to make it. So I did a U-turn and went back to the building that I was just on. I actually fell off by mistake and then just pulled my ripcord, and I somehow managed to get on the roof that I needed to get on. So yeah, I ended up doing it as a bit of a mad accident, but you should be able to do it like this. Especially if you went and upgraded your paraglider to the max 1, you'll be able to get the boost and it should be no problem. Another inhibitor got, and another piece of the tech. So you should be aiming at upgrading your UV light now, or perhaps your grapple if you've got to depart the end game. So here it is on the map. That's the actual building you need to get on top of, and then we've got the actual bandit outpost, and we're obviously going to be taking over and converting it to the outpost. So the next 2 in Garrison, you do need to complete the story. I tried a bunch of times to get them, but they're simply way too high. Using even the backdraft and all the boosts and everything else, it was simply just too hard. I thought you might need the grapple as well, but you do need to turn the power on to one of the main buildings and then take the elevator up. And from that point on, you'll be able to go down to each building and grab the next 2 super easy. So I will show you all of the Garrison ones in a separate new video. But there is one that's off the map. It's in one of the zones right to the south. It's not really listed or marked properly. Jump off from the outpost in this direction towards it. You can see the building's got basically a gap in between. We're actually going to be aiming for the building behind it, but there will be some updraft in this small gap that gives you just enough replen for your stamina, as well as gives you a nice speed boost. As you can see, it's done it there, and just keep aiming nice and high, and obviously using your boost as well to get you that little bit extra higher, and you should make it no problem. You could again wait until you've completed all of the story and the mission that gets you to the top of the tallest building before doing this as well, but I figure this at least gives you another upgrade early on in the game before taking on some of the hardest areas. In fact, you can see you only need to be level 200 stamina to get this one, so maybe it's something involving a bit of an easier way earlier in the game. Yeah, but I didn't want to list the Garrison ones as complete because obviously I haven't completed them all. I did want to give you some tips about them at least. So there we go. Look out for the Garrison video incoming very soon, and the rest of the locations. I'll show you every single drop so you can get max upgrades, and I'll see you right back soon. Bye bye.